Afternoon. The washing line. Let me move you out the way. Here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in your now moment, and welcome to our meditation Mondays, as I like to call this. Although we do varied things on here. Last week we did a tapping session. I do channeling, card reading. So there is a playlist on this channel if you're new to Meditation Monday called Meditation Monday that has over 200 videos. You're welcome to go and check them out. There's something in there for everything. Just whatever resonates, whatever doesn't, discount. So I think that washing line's going to keep annoying my ADHD brain, but still. Anyway, so today, because this month in our energy report, I've said that I think it's a really good time to meditate, and not necessarily with guided meditations. So, so why am I saying this? Because this is a guided meditation. I wanted to speak to this as a guide for you, as a maybe a starting off point, a bouncing off point, a kickstart for a practice that you can utilize whilst you're kind of getting back into doing this for space. And obviously, because when we do this live, we do it as a group. For those that view, whether they're viewing in the now moment or they're viewing in the replay, put hashtag replay if you're watching replay. Um, then we are collectively putting our intention in what we call the Marahaji effect. But we do this for ourselves as well. We're creating that space. It's allowing you to sort of have a loose structure. I'm someone that hates structure but needs that structure in their life. So allowing yourself the time and almost like minding the time like a timer, but for accountability. So I invite you in this week's session to, we'll do a more traditional meditation, but I will start you off as I always do, coming into the totality of our senses, allowing the totality of our senses to structure us in a way, to structure our focus, to clear the mind or essentially focus the mind, hyper focusing on the now moment, on the stillness for now. So if that resonates, then let's get started. Taking a moment, just taking, like we did last week, between 1 and 10, or you can say between 0 minus 10 and 10 being brilliant. Just make a mental note of where you are, where you're feeling on the Sue scale, as they call it, um, so that you know how you're feeling before, and just checking in with yourself, writing that down, maybe putting it in the comments if you're watching me live, and then checking in on our posture. So how you're sitting, whether you're standing, getting yourself into a comfortable position, nice, relaxed, just becoming aware of monkey mind saying, oh, that niggles, that aches. Like, oh, I'm going to sit comfortably, closing the eyes if it's safe for you to do so. If you're walking and you're listening to this as a walking meditation, then just focusing on the textures, the colors as you're moving. And as we move in through the senses, we take that further. So with our sight, if it's closed, it's the blackness, the going more within, but also allowing yourself with what you can taste in your mouth if you've just eaten, the tongue, tucking it behind the teeth, linking the meridian line up, just becoming aware of the saliva in your mouth as I say it, your brain will go to it. The feel of sound around you, like I can hear the wind behind me rustling quite ferociously. I can hear my neighbour's baby in the next door garden. What can you hear? Focusing on what you can actually hear at the same time. And then you're giving monkey mind, because you automatically do that. And it's sort of sometimes somewhat as a distraction. Allow the distraction to hone your focus. So the wind, then the sense of the wind, how it feels on you, how your clothing feels, your feet in your shoes. Are you wearing shoes? Are you barefoot? Feeling your body, and at the same time your posture when you the sense of touch. And as you breathe in, bring your awareness to your breath, to focus with the breath in through the nose to start with, out through the mouth for 3 breaths. And release. Nice deep breath in. And like a big sigh, which makes the heart sound. And let's add one more. And then I want you to we take it through our nervous system, just to in through the nose and out through the nose. What we do when we do this and we're not taking in more oxygen, we're breathing in, but we're slowly breathing out. We're telling the body it's safe. I don't need to run. I don't need to take on more oxygen and get out of here because I'm feeling nervous. So you start to breathe heavier. It's more of a breath awareness in the fact that you just inhaling and giving monkey mind something to do at the same time, exhaling, slowing that breath down. And as you exhale, it's actually good to focus to release. So you can give yourself a number if this helps. If you find it hard to, and you're new to meditation especially, to keep your brain from wandering, which it will do, things will come up when you sit, which that's a good thing. It's not such a bad thing. It's becoming aware of the emotions. You're becoming aware of the thoughts, which then in turn means you're aware that you're not your thoughts. You're not your aches and pains. You're the observer of your aches and pains. I think it's really important to have this understanding of the difference of a lot of us feel we are our stories, we are our experience, we are that emotion, our grief, our sadness, our anxiety, and that becomes a story and that becomes the focus. And it's why it's hard to kind of unravel all those layers of an onion when you first sit in quiet contemplation. Things come up and you think you're not meditating, but that is the process. That's the first step, the awareness of where the thoughts are, the ache, the pain. Oh, I can hear that. Oh, I can hear that. Your brain is meant to do that. You can't switch it off, but we can focus it. So breathing in, breathing out, breathing in for a count of whatever's comfortable. And whatever you breathe in, hold for the same and release for double whatever it was. So if you're breathing in, I'm going to do a long count of 9, but you could do a 4 or a 5 count, whichever suits you. Holding, releasing, and releasing for 18. And your body becomes super focused on the breath. And at the same time, when I say the totality of our senses, you've still got that taste. The eyes are closed or they're focusing on the colours and the textures as you're focusing on the breath. And it focuses and hones the stillness. And I want you to actually listen. So I'm going to go quiet and mind the time. I've been talking for 10 minutes and you've been kind of doing that, hopefully. We're going to spend 3 minutes meditating, if you could say you've meditated, in more of a traditional sense, not with cross-legged, not with omming, although all these things we do and we can help. I just want you to sit in stillness. And I'm going to do it with my eyes open so I can keep an eye on the time and the counter for you. You can close your eyes and just focus within, but you can do the same with your eyes open. And if your eyes are open, just go to a focus point somewhere in the room or somewhere where you're walking, maybe the horizon. It could be your feet, gait, the movement of your body. Focus on your breath, breathing in and breathing out through the nose as you walk, longevity breath. And as I go quiet and your mind becomes the dominant sound or your body, just remember you're observing and observe for these 3 minutes and bring the awareness to the breath back each time. Ready? Okay. Remember, if you need to itch your nose, itch your nose. If you need to cough, cough. If you need to move, move. We're 2 minutes in. One more minute. Here you go. That's 3 minutes. But I want you to stay there. And then I'm going to take this more guided for you. But practice that when you're not live, when you're offline, without listening to me, without listening to a meditation, just in stillness. You can do it when you're walking the dog, watering your plants, out in the garden in nature is ace. Or when you first wake up, when you lay there for 3 minutes and you just feel your breath, when you're still in theta brain, before you awoken even, just breathing and in awareness, or before going to bed if you find you fall asleep with your meditation. As you're going to sleep, just set yourself, I'm going to do 3 minutes because I'm going to count my breath in for 9, hold for 9, out for 18, or in for 4, hold for 4, and out for 8, whatever suits your own body. Incrementally work up to maybe a 9 count, but start where you are, whatever feels comfortable, and allow yourself to just focus, being present, being aware. And if you're laying in bed, listening to the sound of your own breath, the sound of the covers rustling, it's first thing in the morning and the same thing. You can even do it when you're brushing your teeth and zoning into how the movement of your hand, but allowing yourself these little 3-minute pauses, especially this month, and more consistency. I would say if you can do it in the morning, once in your day at some point, especially if you feel yourself getting triggered or stressed. It's not always easy. You can always shake the tree and do some qigong. But if you can, just take a moment in mindfulness, you might call it, as a prelude to meditation. But I really wanted to inspire you to switch the technology off. You can use this as a template, but and take that time. Maybe do this a couple of times, you feel more confident. Maybe just do this part, whatever feels right. But keep that breath flowing. I'm going to give you a little visual now, more guided. Just breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And take that into what we call heart breath. You put your hand on your heart, one hand on the lower dantian, but breathe as if you're breathing with the heart, and visualize the heart moving in, moving out as it pumps in the blood, as it takes in the oxygen and pumps it out into the blood and around. Feel that breath of life, chi, life force, prana, it's called. Focus and just being present and still. And from this place, this is the place to make decisions. This is the bouncing off point for inspiration. This is the place to go to before you do anything, before you segment, as a segment intended. Just put the hand on the heart. And the more you practice it, the more all you need to do is put your hand on your heart, take a deep breath, and you feel yourself just going to that place. And then where you go from there, where what thoughts come, what inspirations come, and they will with time, you can then take it to a next level. But back to basics, back to breath, back to 3 minutes of just pausing. Now, though I've talked for nearly 20, actual deep meditation where you disconnected from your mind, your mental, will start to increase. The more you do it, the more practice. Anyway, love and blessings for your day. Have a beautiful one. If you feel this could help anyone that you know benefit from this, that's finding life stressful and maybe doesn't thinks of meditation as being something you sit and do for hours and that you cross-legged, then maybe send them this video. Love and blessings and thanks for your time. I'll see you next week.